I was 10 years old when I was diagnosed with scoliosis. Scoliosis is when your spine is curved. It's a deformity, not a disease. It appears when you have a rapid growth spurt. Scoliosis is most commonly found in young girls. Boys can have it too, but they grow slower, so it's just less likely to happen. My curve started out at about 42 degrees. In the 9 years since my first appointment, it has progressed to 52 degrees. I never thought I would need surgery, but I knew that I would eventually want to have it done. So May 8th of this year, I'll be having spinal surgery. Like I said, I was 10 when I was first diagnosed. After I'd been over, my doctor told me it was very obvious to her that I had scoliosis. That word meant nothing to me, but it sure did sound scary. A few weeks later, I ended up at Riley Hospital for Children, where I spent many hours throughout my preteen and teenage years. You have three options, he said. You can have spinal surgery, you can wear a back brace, or you can do nothing. All I could get out was, why would we do nothing? I settled for the back brace. To be fit for a back brace, they wrap you up in some type of wet gauze. They let it sit on you for a while to harden, and then they'll saw you out of it. My back braces were made of hard plastic with a thin liner on the inside to make it more comfortable. But comfort was definitely not a priority. The back of the back brace had 3 Velcro straps. My brace was to be worn 24/7, unless I was showering or doing some kind of physical activity. When I turned 12, it was time to get fitted for another back brace because I'd hit puberty, which made me taller and skinnier. Being a tween is already hard enough, but this made it so much worse. I felt so ugly in that thing. I hated looking at it, and I sure as hell hated wearing it. My parents tried to comfort me by saying, "Oh, nobody will even notice." But people noticed. I did get bullied and poked at here and there. I just never thought of it as that because I tried not to let it get to me. And thankfully, I had supportive friends and family who loved my rock hard abs, as they would call them. This was about the time I started struggling with my self-confidence and being comfortable in my body. The older you get, there's more pressure to be skinny and pretty, and that back brace made me feel like the complete opposite of those things. But then finally, after 3 long years, the time came for me to be able to stop wearing the back brace. It got to come off right before 8th grade, and I couldn't have been more excited. I had always told my parents I wanted to burn my braces after I was done with them, but for some reason I just couldn't stand the thought of giving them up. I despised them, but they were a huge part of my life for 3 years, so I still have them to this very day. 8th grade wasn't too big of a struggle, honestly, but then high school came, and that's when the real struggle with self-love became apparent. I'm not a super openly emotional person, so I hid all these feelings. I would try to push these thoughts out of my mind, but I just never could. The struggle continued until the summer before my freshman year of college. I was about to go on an amazing trip to Europe and then head off to college, so my back was the least of my worries. After all the excitement of summer and starting college was over, my back never left my mind. I would stare in the mirror at it forever, just pointing out flaws. Keep in mind, this definitely wasn't the only time this had happened. I felt obsessed with my back, and I knew I wanted it fixed, but the only way to have it fixed was surgery. Surgery had always been in the back of my mind, but it's a long process of recovery and pain. I didn't know if I could handle it. I brought this up to my parents in December, and they were extremely supportive. We made an appointment for me to go see an adult spinal doctor. Before the visit, I felt like I wanted to vomit. I wanted to be comfortable with myself, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit scared. Without the surgery, I could live a fairly healthy life until I was a bit older. Then that's when the problems would set in. Major backaches, stiffness, or a more noticeable hunch due to the fact that my spine will continue to curve. My doctor told us that if I did it now, it would stop all those problems from occurring. I knew right then and there I wanted the surgery. A few weeks after a follow-up appointment, we decided on the surgery date, May 8th, 2017. It sounds a bit crazy to be excited to have rods and screws in your spine, but I am. I'm excited to feel comfortable again. I'm excited to feel new.